It's been a busy day of developing news. So the body found in the trunk of a Tesla-registered popular music artist David is that of a teenage girl missing since April of last year. Fox 11's Christina.
I need every single one of you 34.6 million monthly listeners to explain to me how we missed this. The song is called Romantic Homicide. He posted photos at 3 a.m. with her. They had matching shh tattoos, like they were in the world's most obvious secret society. And we really acted surprised when, you know what? Let me start from the beginning because this level of delusion needs context. You're on TikTok Crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal. TikTok stars, Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories. These are real murders, real victims. Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags, because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead. Here's what happened. So we've got David Anthony Burke, goes by D4vd, because apparently spelling is optional when you're Gen Z, and this isn't your typical struggling artist story. This kid recorded his breakthrough hit in his sister's closet. Not his own room, not the garage, his sister's closet. And before you ask, yes, I have the same question. What was wrong with his closet? Did she have better acoustics? Was his closet already occupied? The marketing team really said, "This is quirky," and ran with it. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody's Spotify Wrapped predicted. The song that made him famous. Romantic Homicide. It went viral on TikTok in 2022, and we all just streamed it. 34 million of us monthly. Really listened to lyrics about killing someone in the back of your mind and thought, this is my jam. The song literally says, in the back of my mind, you died and I didn't even cry. But sure, we were all shocked when this ended badly. Now, while David's climbing the charts with his murder ballad, there's a 14-year-old girl in Lake Elsinore named Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And this is where I need someone to explain to me how every adult in this situation failed so spectacularly. Celeste's mom knew her daughter was dating someone named David. Never met him, never video called him, never did a basic Google search that would have shown her this wasn't some high school boyfriend, but a rising musician with millions of followers. Mom, you'll install Life 360 to track if she went to Starbucks, but you won't investigate the mystery man she's sneaking out to see at 3 a.m. And those matching tattoos I mentioned, they both had shh inked on their right index fingers. You know what shh means? It means, don't tell anyone about this thing that's happening. That's not couple goals, that's evidence. The tattoo artist who did this needs to be investigated too, because you saw what I'm assuming was a 14-year-old girl walking with a 19-year-old man and thought, yeah, this is fine. But wait, the red flags get redder. David starts posting everything Hello Kitty themed after they get together. Now, Celeste loved Hello Kitty, wore Hello Kitty sandals, had Hello Kitty everything. Sweet, right? Wrong. Because his profile picture becomes Hello Kitty covered in blood. I'm not even being dramatic, that's literally what he posted. We really saw this man put a blood-soaked Sanrio character as his PFP and thought artist things. The internet's timeline suggests they got together when she was around 13 or 14 and he was 19. Do the math on that. I'll wait. Actually, don't. YouTube doesn't like when we do that kind of math out loud. April 5th, 2024. Celeste leaves her house at 9 p.m. wearing grey pants, a black sweater, and those Hello Kitty sandals. She's 14 years old. Her mum reports her missing, but here's the thing. This wasn't her first time running away. She'd done it before and come back. So everyone's thinking she'll return like always. Meanwhile, and this is where my jaw hits the floor, David's preparing for his Withered World Tour. The album is called Withered, y'all. This man's entire discography is just red flags with a beat drop. He's posting on TikTok, doing interviews, getting brand deals with Crocs and Hollister, living his best life while Celeste is nowhere. 5 months pass. 5 months. During this time, neighbours in the Hollywood Hills start noticing this Tesla that's been parked in various spots since May. It'll sit in one spot for weeks, then mysteriously move to another spot, then sit there for weeks. But this is LA, where we mind our business unless it affects our parking situation. September 8th, 2025. Hollywood Tow Yard. The employees are complaining about a smell. And not just any smell. The kind that makes you know something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. But here's the part that kills me. They waited 2 days before calling it in. 2 whole days of maybe it'll go away on its own. In a city where we call the cops because someone's Ring doorbell looked at us funny. The Tesla had been towed there after being abandoned on Bluebird Avenue for over 72 hours. Nobody reported it stolen. Let me say that again. David Burke never reported his Tesla stolen. Your car goes missing with a body in it and you just... what? Assume it's taking itself for a spa day? When the police finally show up and pop the frunk. Because yes, even crime scenes are bougie in Hollywood now. They find remains in a bag. The medical examiner would later describe finding a tube top, black leggings, a yellow metal bracelet, and stud earrings. But the detail that connected everything? That tattoo. Shh, on the right index finger. The body weighed 71 pounds. TMZ gets a tip. Because of course they do. They probably have informants in every tow yard in LA at this point. They reach out to Celeste's mum, who sees the description. 15-year-old female, wavy black hair, shh, tattoo on the right index finger. The mum immediately knows. After 17 months of her daughter being missing, she finds out through TMZ that her body was in a Tesla registered to, wait for it, David Anthony Burke. The same David she never bothered to meet. Now here's the part that nobody's talking about enough. While this Tesla is sitting in Hollywood with Celeste's remains from May to September, David is doing what exactly? Oh, just launching his Withered World Tour on August 5th. This man really said the show must go on, while his car was a literal crime scene. He's performing in Portland, Seattle's next, San Francisco after that. Posting tour content, taking selfies with fans, all while knowing his Tesla is... where exactly? Because remember, he never reported it stolen. If your car disappears for 4 months, you either know exactly where it is, or you're the world's most unbothered Tesla owner. September 17th, the day after Celeste is officially identified, his Seattle show gets cancelled. Not by him initially, but by the venue. The Greek Theatre in LA still has him scheduled for September 20th. 3 days after a body was found in his car, and they're still selling tickets. The music industry really said, innocent until proven guilty, but also money. Crocs and Hollister deserve their own Netflix documentary for what happens next. These brands had just announced David as the face of their collaboration on September 3rd. 5 days later, there's a body in his car. The marketing teams probably needed therapy after this, but they don't just drop him quietly. No, They go full Stalin-era photo editing. They keep the products but remove his face from every campaign image. Some intern had to sit there in Photoshop, carefully erasing a potential murderer from their full collection. If you bought those Crocs, congratulations, you own limited edition evidence. Meanwhile, the LAPD is being frustratingly vague. They're saying no suspect at this time, while investigating a body found in a car registered to... who again? This is like finding someone dead in your living room, and police saying we have no leads. The car is literally registered to one person. David's team releases the most corporate statement I've ever seen. D4vd is fully cooperating with authorities. That's it. Not he's devastated, not our hearts go out to the family, just we're cooperating. You know who else cooperates? People with good lawyers. The song Romantic Homicide has now been streamed over 500 million times. That's 500 million plays of a song about killing someone you loved. And if you're one of those 34.6 million monthly listeners still streaming it, what does that say about us? Serious question. Drop it in the comments, because I need to understand the psychology here. Here's what keeps me up at night. Celeste was missing for 17 months. Her body was in that car for at least 4 of those months. The decomposition was so severe she weighed 71 pounds. But somehow this man was posting, touring, living normally. How do you compartmentalize that? And can we talk about how a 20-year-old has a Tesla anyway? These cars start at like $40,000. Either Spotify pays way better than YouTube, or there's income we don't know about. The fact that he could just abandon a whole Tesla and not immediately report it tells you everything about his financial situation. As of today, no arrests have been made. David is still cooperating. The mom is doing interviews. The brands are pretending those campaigns never existed. And 34.6 million people are still giving this man streaming revenue. Celeste's name means heavenly in French. She was 15 years old, loved Hello Kitty, and trusted the wrong person. Every adult who should have protected her failed. The tattoo artist who inked a minor. The mother who never met the boyfriend. The industry that's still protecting him with vague statements and cancelled shows instead of cancelled contracts. So here's my question for you, and I genuinely want your thoughts in the comments. At what point do we stop separating the art from the artist? When the art is literally about the crime? When there's evidence in 4K? When brands have to Photoshop you out like you're a dictator's ex-friend? If this story made you feel some type of way, hit that subscribe button. Because we need to have more of these conversations. Share this video, not because I'm asking, but because people need to know who they're supporting with those monthly streams. And if you're still listening to Romantic Homicide after this, at least have the decency to use YouTube music so I get a cut. The investigation is ongoing, but the internet never forgets, and neither should we.
Yeah, her name was Celeste Rivas. She was last seen leaving her home here back in 2024. Her family thought she was missing. She was declared missing back then. They had no idea there could even be a connection to the body in the Tesla until they got a call from TMZ last week. Now, keep in mind that David has been cooperating with authorities. He has not been named a person of interest, let alone a suspect. But at this point, this concert in Seattle, the next concert date, has been canceled, and people here are saying, what's going on? Take a look.
No.
Few words from those arriving at the Lake Elsinore home where 15-year-old Celeste Rivas disappeared in April of 2024.
where her family has just found out that it is her partially dismembered body that was found in the trunk of a Tesla, registered to popular singer-songwriter David Anthony Burke, known by the stage name David. TMZ broke the girl's identification after speaking to her mother.
It was a very heart-wrenching conversation. She was very upset and said that all she knew is that, her daughter had been missing all of this time. She told us that she was aware that there was a boyfriend named David.
And that her daughter had a tattoo with the letters "Shh" on her right index finger.
That the color of the ink of that tattoo was red, which was something that police had not released to the public.
The singer, who has been cooperating with police, had continued his tour after the body was discovered, but he just canceled his next date in Seattle.
But it just seemed odd to us that, gosh, your car, such a grisly discovery in your car, and that you're just out on tour. You would think that, you'd want to find out what happened here, because this is just a very bizarre case.
Especially because one of his videos actually features a body being put in the trunk of a car.
It's just eerie considering what ended up happening in David's car.
I just hope that the truth comes forward.
Celeste's neighbors on the street she grew up at.
Justicia.
Justice is what family and friends are asking for.
Whatever happened could happen to someone else, and it's just scary.